Welcome to the program. I'm your host, Neil Howard, here on Health Professional Radio, and I'm real glad that you could join us once again. Going to be speaking with Mr. Jay Baker. He's president of Jamestown Plastics. Now, Jamestown Plastics is a custom manufacturer of thermoformed products. He's joining us here to talk about how he and his team did a pandemic pivot and created and manufactured face shields to prevent the spread of coronavirus. Welcome to Health Professional Radio. Jay Baker, thanks for taking the time this morning.
Well, thank you, Neil. It's a privilege. I appreciate it.
Well, a pandemic pivot. Give our listeners a brief background about yourself and Jamestown Plastics.
That's certainly, Neil. Jamestown Plastics has 62 years of manufacturing expertise in our industry, and we've played in a wide variety of fields over those 62 years, everything from medical to consumer goods packaging to automotive and government. But we had never ventured into the PPE realm until this pandemic came about, and we had local health providers come to us in mid-March, seeing what we could do to chip in and try to make a difference. And so that's how we got started in this new crazy world that everybody's living.
Having operated, as you say, in so many areas with your products over those 60 plus years, how much of a challenge was it to change to PPE, or was it say, hey, we've done so many things before, we are ready for this type of happenstance?
The latter is really what happened. Because we have always had a be bold philosophy and have always tried to be a solution provider, not a Me Too company looking for innovativeness to separate ourselves from the other folks in our field. What we used was experience that we had gained through all of that knowledge in various areas and applied it with a fresh computer screen, if you will, to this challenge of specifically face shields. And we also reached out to healthcare professionals, and we did our research and looked at some of the vulnerability in the product that's been out there for so many decades, some of the issues that have been pointed out. And we consulted with the healthcare professionals as we worked on the design to try to eliminate those vulnerability points in our True Hero Extreme Coverage Shield. And we feel very happy about the results and the feedback that we've gotten.
Now, let's talk about the results. You felt it was an immediate need to help out just in your community, but this is grown, right?
Oh, it's grown substantially. Absolutely. Yeah. It was an immediate need. We actually went from the design process into our first production within 24 hours. We do all of our own tooling in the house. We do all of our own design in-house, and we have just the most fantastic group of people. I get choked up talking about them. And so it was a round-the-clock, all-hands-on-deck effort, and we needed to get that first production out there into the healthcare professionals' hands so they could say yes or no, or you need to make this change. But the result was, because we've done our homework earlier, it was a home run right out the gate. And so we started running off of a single cavity tool around the clock, which allowed us to take care of the first 15,000 folks in our little corner of New York State that were so desperately looking for protection. And within a week and a half, we had a full production tool that we were able to really start cranking out production, being able to start making donations to like all the hospitals in New York City we have donated to. And it's been quite a ride. It really has been,
Now, we're talking about the True Hero Extreme Coverage Shield.
And that is correct. Mm-hmm.
We've seen the pictures in the news, in our magazines about first responders, the frontline healthcare workers in full hazmat gear, many having different types, I guess almost homemade, makeshift, whatever you can get your hands on to try and protect yourself. Are face masks, are these face shields the only product that you're making toward this PPE end?
We currently have the original True Hero Extreme Coverage Face Shield. And we have just introduced the student size for students going back to school, which also fits well for ladies, especially when they have smaller heads than us guys do. We also have the hat trick, which is a really neat True Hero product, which slides onto the brim of a baseball cap. So you've got a baseball cap, you can slide this on and you've got phenomenal protection. And then we also have something more specifically for meat processors and folks that have to wear some type of a hard hat called the hard hatter. All of them give the same level of protection to the wearer from the crown, underneath the chin, back around towards the ears, which is what the CDC says they're supposed to provide a well-designed face shield. And we also have a line of barrier product called Divide and Conquer that are the acrylic barriers that you see in so many places now to separate folks from one another with a barrier shield.
You know, you said that you had to get the product out quickly to get a yay or a nay as to the functionality of the product, and apparently it was a resounding yay. Let's talk about some of the feedback that you're getting from some of your healthcare, some of the frontline workers.
It's really been quite incredible, and if anybody wants to see the testimonials for themselves, I encourage them to go to TrueHeroShield.com, our website. We have testimonial after testimonial. Many of the key points, direct quotes, for the first time, I feel like I'm truly protected wearing a face shield. I love the way the face shield comes underneath my chin, which is a major point of vulnerability in other designs of the past. And it comes down straight and it stops. And especially, let's say you're a dentist or you're doing a procedure anywhere or administering to a patient anywhere where you're leaning over that patient, that's a wide open vulnerability point if that patient coughs, sneezes, or something happens. We're the only ones in history, to the best of our research, that actually wrap back under the chin a couple, 3 inches to close off that point of vulnerability. So the feedback's been incredible. The nurses that responded after we made donations to all the hospitals in New York City and getting emotional on the phone because they had something they could use. It has been just an overwhelming experience, and I couldn't be prouder of my staff. They did an amazing job.
You mentioned the website. Give us that website again, and also give us a website where we can learn more about Jamestown Plastics in general.
Sure. TrueHeroShield.com is the website for the True Hero product line, and then for our company, it's simply JamestownPlastics.com, and you can learn more about us there.
Well, I thank you, Jay, for coming in and telling us about this development. It's very exciting. Congratulations, and thank you for being so responsible in your community and to New York at large. It's a great effort, great thing.
Well, really appreciate you reaching out, and I just we want to express as a company, the product's named True Hero, not about us. Named True Hero after the people that wear this product every day to protect the rest of us, and they're the true heroes in all of this, and we just want to make sure that they know from us how much we appreciate what they do every day.
Well, thank you once again, Jay.
Oh, thank you, Neil. Goodbye.
You've been listening to Health Professional Radio. I'm your host, Neil Howard, in conversation with Jay Baker, president of Jamestown Plastics. Audio copies of this program are available at hpr.fm and healthprofessionalradio.com.au. You can also subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, listen in, download at SoundCloud, and be sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com, Health Professional Radio.